I hope you're hearing me. Good morning. Saying we can start, others will maybe join us later so that we don't take a lot of time. So welcome all to this unit that is gender and international relations. I believe you're all hearing me. Please, if you can't hear me, let me know through the chat, public chat, so that maybe I may check on maybe my connectivity or something. But as per now, I can see we are all together. So welcome so very much to this unit, Gender and International Relations. And I know before when we proceed, many of you may be wondering, why are we doing gender as diplomats? Remember, even if you're doing international relations, you're doing community development, you're doing project management, you're dealing with people. And people are in both gender, sex, we have the male and we have the female. So at the end of the day, we're dealing with all caliber of people. So it's very important for us to know about gender sensitivity, gender issues, so that when we are relating with people, either locally, regionally, or internationally, we're able to know how to consider each gender so that we will limit the element of conflicts. So gender and international relations is one of the units that you'll be taking through for this semester, so that we may interact more and get to know more about gender issues. To mention something on the course outline, I know I've already displayed it on the platform. There are some few topics that I can mention now before we proceed with the chapter 1. Let me try and share something little on the course outline very fast. You can see it's sharing, so just wait for a little while. You'll be able to see it on your side. So just as it proceeds to share, we shall be discussing the basics, that is on the definitions of terminologies, and then I'll also discuss the triple role concepts, the history. Now that we have the notes, I'll give you to go through the history. So that when we meet next class, I only mention a few things from the history that you have read. So today I may tackle the introduction bit and the triple role concept. Are you hearing me? I can see some people have already logged in, please. Okay, so I'm proceeding. So I'll discuss gender theories as another topic as time goes by, because we need to know some of the theories that have been formulated in relation to gender. For instance, I'll be discussing gender division of power as a theory, feminist theory, biological theory, because we need to know more about the gender issues and the occurrence of all these, because every theory has a critique, because it's formulated by an individual. So people make mistakes, and so we shall be discussing the origin of the theories and all that. If there's any critique, we shall give in relation to gender theories. And then from there, I'll proceed to gender relations and socialization. Remember, we need to socialize with people, and we know with socialization there are many institutions that are they're active at this stage. We have a family as a key institution in terms of relating and socializing. So we shall discuss gender relations and socialization, and then from there we shall proceed to schools as an institution. We shall proceed to religious institutions. We shall proceed to mass media and discuss the role of mass media in terms of gender and international relations. Then from there, I shall proceed to the other topic. Let me check from my notes. So the other topic will be social construction of gender. We'll be discussing the types of gender socialization that we have and the process of socializing. And then from there, we shall tackle the human rights. We know we all deserve equality, regardless of the gender, the sex. We deserve equality in terms of human rights. If it's food, it's basic needs, if it's education, it's security, we all deserve equal rights. So we'll be discussing the element of human rights and the culture, because sometimes culture and human rights, they really contradict to some extent. So we shall be discussing the link between the human rights and the culture. Then we also discuss the gender-based discrimination, discuss people who are more discriminated, violated in terms of gender, and discuss the human rights. What do they deserve as human beings? Then we shall also do sexuality and gender issues. Again, we shall mention about gender-based violence in terms of sexual now, not the physical one, but not the sexual offenses, and maybe mention the people who are most affected. Remember, if you're doing international relations, meaning it's a global effect, you may realize that some of the countries women are discriminated, women are butchered. So we'll be discussing how is it affecting women in terms of empowerment, because even women are part of gender and development. So we shall be discussing the element of sexuality and the gender issues. Then from there, we'll slightly mention the role of gender in community development process. I know you may ask, why are you doing this? Remember, in international relations, the same concept you can have in international relations, you can bring it to a local setting. And in local settings, you'll find the community members. So slightly, we shall mention something there on community development, because you people are, once in a while, you may find yourself in a region where it's locally based, a remote zone. How will you interact with people? So I'll mention gender in the community development process. And then from there, I'll do women and political power. We know about equality. We need to talk about women to venture into politics like another person, because then they have the power. We want to discourage political discrimination and stigmatization towards women, because most of the communities, countries, they outlook the women and think that women should not venture into politics. So we shall be discussing the influence of women to political power, and is it bringing a positive impact to the society, or is it negative? And from there, we shall proceed to international policies, determining women's place in society. So we also need to know the role of women in the society, because when a part of us, you should not say that it's only men who should be in this position. So we'll be discussing the international policies in determining women's place. We shall be mentioning the UN, and some of the policies that they've put in place in relation to protecting the rights of women internationally. And then finally, we shall do what is emerging or what is trending in relation to international relations. So that is just what I wanted to mention on the course outline. So let me stop sharing this. Yes, any question? Please, can you, Michael, you need to mute your mic, because I can get some echo from you. Yeah, thank you. There was some echo from your side. So from there, I'll go direct to the chapter 1. So in case you have any question, please, you can keep it so that when I introduce now, you can approach all the questions together. So let me share so that we move very fast. So I need to share. All these notes are on the portal. So it's sharing. I can give it just like a few minutes. It will be on that side, so that we proceed together on the chapter 1. Yeah, we already here. So we go to directly to the first topic. The basic concepts in gender and development. So maybe to ask, Jen, can you hear me? I want to get your response, people, before I proceed. Jen, Michael, and Naomi, please unmute so that I know you're in.
I can hear you.
Naomi, you can hear. Jen? Can you hear me? Jen Kirunyu. Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, on my side, I can
Michael,
hear you.
Jen, can you hear me? Oh, thank you. I think she's lost or at least to on the agenda. So let's see what
Hello.
all together, we are going to the basic gender development.
You're coming distorted. You're coming distorted on my side.
Miss, your internet is quite floppy.
My internet. Let me check on it. Is it clear now?
Now it's clear.
It's not clear.
Perfectly, yeah.
Oh, apologies. Maybe it's connectivity issues.
Yeah, it's okay.
So now it's okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Michael is saying is being distorted. Maybe you check your connectivity, Michael, on your side, because other members are saying now we are okay. So maybe, Michael, you can check on your side. Because for Naomi and Jen, they can clearly hear me. So maybe you check on your side, Michael, because my side now it's okay. So let me share again. I can see the connectivity has disappeared with the notes. It's now okay. Oh, Michael confirms it's okay. Oh, thank you. So let me go directly to the first sharing again now that the connectivity has affected. I'll share the first topic again. It's sharing now. So that we go together. So as it shares, I'll be giving the key terminologies that are very frequently used in gender. Okay, it's here. So I believe we can all see that the basic concepts in gender development. Please, if it's not visible on your end, let us know that we move together. So the first key terminologies there will be gender and sex. We need to give key distinction because there's a difference between gender and sex. People frequently confuse these two terminologies, but they have a difference. So if I may mention before we read, gender is socially constructed roles that distinguish between men and women, and sex is more biological. Meaning what? For gender, it's more of social roles that people are assigned in the community, and they're assigned in relation to their gender. If it's women, there are the duties that women are given. Those are the gender roles. If it's men, there are those roles that they are given. But in sex, it's more biological. It's not now socially associated as in gender. Gender is more social, but for sex, it's more biological. Biological means it's more natural. It's more about the anatomy, you know. So if it's a boy, it's a boy. If it's a girl, it's a girl. Meaning if it's biological and natural, we cannot change it that frequent. So for sex, it's biological. It's not changeable. It's permanent and it's fixed. But for gender, development, we can say that women are vying for political seats. Those days, yes. Now, okay, let me proceed. So you realize that.
Excuse me, Miss, you're
together.
You're cutting.
Sorry?
You're not coming off clear.
I'm not clear.
Yeah.
You're not getting me.
Now I can get you, but before it was distorting a bit.
Oh, I think we are having issues with network.
Yeah.
Michael, can you get me?
Even on my side.
Yes. To my side, I'm very clear. I don't know. Michael and Naomi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it happens when you speak and then it just cuts.
Oh, so meaning there's an issue with the connectivity. Is it to your end or to my end now? Because to my side, it's very clear.
My
so
end
maybe
is also very clear.
Side, eh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. In case of any attention, please, you can just let me know.
Mm.
Okay, so I was saying that for gender, it's more socially related, but for sex, it's biological. So I've said that gender, it's flexible. The gender roles are flexible. They can change. But for sex, it's something permanent because you said it's more biological, more natural, it's more of anatomy. So it's not that it's for it to be changed. So for sex, it's permanent, non-changeable. But for gender roles, they can change. And so I was giving that example of the currently women are taking the role of leadership. This is more of a gender role. It has changed. Those days it was men, but now you can see women also taking the role of leadership. So this tells us what gender roles can be changed. They are flexible. They are not fixed, such as like the way sex can be fixed, because if you're a boy, you're a boy. If you're a girl, you're a girl. So yeah. So from the notes that you can see from your screen, I believe you can all see the notes.
Yeah.
So gender refers to socially constructed roles that distinguish between men and women. And gender roles are learned and they vary from one culture to the other over time. We know about culture. If there's something that is conflicting in the country, in the nation, the world, it's religion and culture. Those two things are very, very sensitive. And as I'll be teaching you in the conflict negotiation unit, I think, if it's not you, it's another group. If there's something that attracts conflict, it's religion and culture. Why? Because people are so much glued to their culture, so much glued to their religion, such that if someone tries to mention it, it can attract a lot of conflict. So what does it tell us here? You may go to a community and find that to their culture, it's the role of women to do this. Another community, to their culture, it's the role of man. So that can attract conflict. So as a diplomat, as a gender analyst, you need to be very cautious when you're talking about these gender roles, because you may go to a place and tell them the household activities belong to women, and maybe to their culture, the household activities belong to both. You see, that's conflict already, because to you, you're telling them this belongs to men, but to them it's equal. So you need to be very sensitive when you mention the gender roles, because different regions have different cultures. Now that you are doing international relations, countries are different. Every country has their own constitution. They have their own policies, So you may go to a place and realize that what is happening in Kenya, it's not what is happening in Zambia, It's not what is happening in South Africa. So you need to be very cautious on the culture, the religion, and even the demographic factors of that country before you mention some of these things, that you may not go there and attract a sense of conflict. So the gender roles, we are saying they vary from one culture to the other over time. Over time, meaning what? Culture is flexible. Some things may change, as I've just mentioned. Some of the things that we are doing now were not done those days. Maybe like the women leadership, it wasn't there. But now you see women are vying for seats, very frequent. So things change. So for gender roles, they are that flexible. You can just analyze it from that end. So they are thus bound to change, and involves social cultural learning and training. For instance, a boy may be trained to have the traditional masculine role, which includes traditional gender characteristics like independence, courage, and aggressiveness. I know even in your studies, men are believed to be, courageous, not like women. In the same way, a girl child can be socialized into the traditional feminine role, including submissiveness, emotionality, and empathy. For women are believed in the community to be humble, submissive, but for men, independence and courageous. That's gender role. So if we now cross over to sex, now that gender is more socially related, sex now it goes to biological. So sex refers to the biological constructed characteristics that distinguish between men from women. So if we talk about biological, now this is more natural. It is about the anatomy, the physical anatomy. You can see this and say this is a girl and this is a boy. So some of the things that make the physical anatomy are like the genitalia, the facial hair, and the body structure and the composition. So this is now more the permanent thing I was talking about. So if it's a girl, it's a girl. So if you are a girl and now you are given the role in the society of woman, now you go to gender roles, because gender roles, we said, they are given by society, they are socially constructed. So people really confuse these two terminologies. Some mention sex when they are meaning gender, others mention gender when they are trying to mean sex. So there is that key distinction. With gender, it's all about the socially roles, but with sex, it's the biological anatomy of a man and a woman. Are we together up to that far?
Yeah.
Okay. So from there, let me share the next slide. Let me share. We go to gender equity. Gender equity and gender inequality.
Madam, before
I
you
believe
proceed,
we are all. Yes. Is this Michael? Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, Michael. Yes.
I'm not getting the difference between gender and sex.
Oh, you're not getting the difference.
Can you try to elaborate more?
Yes, let me try. There's no problem. So we've said in a society or in a community, the duties given to men, because people believe you are a man. For instance, you should wake up and go to work, bring food in the evening. That is gender role. Because in that society, they believe a man should wake up and go to work. Are we there, Michael?
Yeah.
That is gender role. It's more social now. And to that extent, if the man in that society, they believe you wake up, go look for a job, bring something in the evening, earn an income, and then they believe that the woman is to remain home, take care of the children, clean the house, household chores, all of them. That is the role of a woman. So those are socially related. Gender, they're not about now the anatomy there. It's all about what man is believed to do and what a woman is believed to do.
So
Michael,
I
are we
can
there?
say,
Yes. Mm.
gender is just an habit in a community.
Yes.
Okay, you can proceed.
Yeah. So that's why we are saying it can change. And if you had me, Michael, I mentioned about culture. So one community, you may go and realize that household chores are left to women, but in another community, you go and find household chores or activities are left to everyone. So it varies from one culture to the other. Are we there, Michael? Michael, are we there? Can you hear me? People are lost. Michael?
I can hear you.
Oh, so now you know about the gender roles.
Yeah, I get the
Yeah, they
point.
change from one society to the other depending on their culture. So from there, we go to sex. What did I say about sex? Those who are in class.
Sex is biological, hence it's permanent. You can't really change it.
Yeah, very good. So sex is more permanent.
Permanent.
It's biological. It's the anatomy. Yeah?
Yes.
So you cannot change. If you are born to be a girl, you are going to be a
girl.
Yeah. So for now, sex roles, they come due to the biology, the anatomy, the way you look like. So that one is not in terms of culture. Unless someone wants to change it. We've heard about the plastic surgery thing. I don't know whether it's very effective. I may not advocate for that. But we know if you're a girl, you are
A girl.
if you're a boy, you are a boy.
You're a
So
boy.
sexual roles are permanent because that's how you are anatomy and biological. It's natural. But for gender roles, they may vary, with time and culture. Michael, back to you. Michael,
You can proceed.
I cannot proceed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Unless someone else has a question, I will now go to equity and equality. Anyone who knows the difference? So I know you have it in the screen, but before you read, anyone who can tell us what you mean by gender equity? Gender equity? When you talk about equity, what do you usually mean? Equity means what?
Let me try.
Yes.
Equity means just like fairness between sex, male and female.
And female. Very good. So if you're trying to distribute resources, opportunities, we need to be equal. That is all what we mean with gender what? Gender equity. So if you go to a region and you find that there's a lot of violence, don't concentrate only to women. Currently, violence cuts across even men. I know Michael can support that. Michael, is that true? Violence cuts across everyone nowadays. But people have only been saying it's for women. So if you're doing fairness, please, if you are doing community awareness, creating community awareness, mobilization, resource allocation, resource distribution, opportunities, jobs, that is, please be fair and justice. Just don't give to one side. So with equity, it's all about fair and justice. Just be you, be real. So don't discriminate one side. So the moment you have gender inequality, now that is why you have discrimination. Because you are trying to affect some people. So you realize that some members are not given equality like the others. So if you don't do fairly, that's what we call gender inequality, the element of discrimination. But before we go to that, we can just read a paragraph on equity, then I'll go to inequality. So equity is more fairness and justice in the distribution of benefits and responsibilities to a given group of people. It entails making all parties or stakeholders to have a stake in or have a share of something. So if you're giving resources, please, if you give them equally, that is the best. Make sure at least that everybody can access the resources. If you're giving job opportunities, be fair. Don't check that it's women and you give them all the jobs and assume that men are well. No. If you're considering like qualification, if we all have maybe your masters, you should not say I'll give more women than men. Maybe that's community men are suffering. So you need to be fair. So with equity, it's fairness and justice as you consider both gender, as just Michael has mentioned, to consider the female and the male. So from there, I will go now to inequality, gender inequality that we've just mentioned. It's about unequal distribution. I want to share that slide. Gender inequality. So this is the state of discrimination of gender practiced by public or social institutions. Structural gender inequality is more entrenched if it is maintained by administrative rules and laws rather than by only custom and traditions. So we need to discard, discourage discriminating. We should not discriminate any part of the society. You may go to a region and you realize that we have the rich, the middle class, and the poor. And when it comes to things like decision making, we are not engaging the poor. Maybe people think the poor don't have viable ideas. Some people, they assume that the poor, they may not be able to give concrete ideas. Being the poor, when we say voice to the voiceless, we do not say they are voiceless, they cannot talk. It's only that people try to outlook them. But some of them may be giving very good policies that can help the region or the country. So when you're doing decision making, policy formulation, it's good you engage both. You do not discriminate one gender. Don't say that women cannot be good in decision making, women cannot be good in politics, women cannot be good in government positions. No, anyone can be in any position. So for gender inequality, it's where we have the element of discriminating one gender. So for us to have equity, we need to discourage inequality. Share everything equal so that every person can have, a stake in it. So it's very important for us to talk about this because most of the issues like politics affect the women because of the element of inequality. People view like women may not, proceed well with political seats, of which that is just what we call stereotyping. At the end of the class, I'll be discussing that gender stereotyping. So with gender equity and gender inequality, the key distinction is that gender equity is more of fairness and justice to all people, regardless of their gender. And gender inequality, it's about discrimination. The system of discriminating one gender or one side just due to, stereotyping, just believing that they cannot do something, but you're not sure about it. For you to succeed in something, use the facts, not the fiction. Don't assume things. Do things as they are. So with discrimination, it's not something good. It cannot promote empowerment. It cannot promote good leadership because you're discriminating one gender. So it's very important when you're doing resource distribution opportunities, jobs, everything, practice equity so that the members of the society or the community or the country, they may feel they are in the same level. So it's a very encouraging thing when we do equity, even on the international levels. Because again, if you're dealing with so many regions, it's about conflict negotiation, resolution, peacekeeping. You need to be sensitive of the gender. Don't only check the progress of one country and conclude all other countries in that region are okay. Maybe there's one country that is being affected by conflicts. So when you're doing equity, it will be fair for every region, every country, so that even we may have a peaceful state together. So that is all about inequality. Unless maybe someone has a question, I'll go to gender discrimination. That is just very equal to what I've just mentioned in inequality. Gender discrimination is the state of giving differential treatment to individuals on the basis of their gender. So you realize that people are not treated equally. There are those who are favored more than the others. If it's the distribution of resources, income, participation, decision making, there are people who are favored more than the others. That again can attract conflict. So if you want to have peaceful life, don't discriminate gender. Yes. I can see someone is trying to log in. It's okay. So gender discrimination is all about, unfairly treatment to individuals. You're favoring more one group than the other. This I'll give it in conjunction to gender sensitivity.
Excuse me, Cha.
Yes.
The difference between gender inequality and gender discrimination, I really don't get it.
Gender inequality and
gender discrimination, what's the difference?
Gender inequality, we said it's a system of discriminating of gender practice. We're talking about gender discrimination. It is the unfairly treatment to individuals on the basis of their gender, meaning inequality is what leads to discrimination.
Oh, okay.
So one must follow the other. If you have inequality, definitely you are discriminating a team. So maybe if we are a community and we are giving resources and you give men, maybe you are distributing cash, like now currently, with the pandemic, and you say that men are too busy, so we'll give them 1,000, and for women we give them 10,000. Honestly, well, how have you known that men are too busy? So that one is definitely you are discriminating. So meaning this will contribute to inequality. Yeah. So if you discriminate, definitely that is an inequality. Are we there, Naomi?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Unless someone else has a question, I will go to sensitivity. What do you mean by being sensitive from our normal understanding? Sensitive. Anyone was a try on being sensitive on something?
Let me try.
Yes, Michael.
Sensitivity is just a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You feel towards something, like if you have been done wrong for good, you can feel that feeling.
Yeah, good. So it's like a personal attachment to something. There are people who are very sensitive, others are not sensitive. There are people who take things too lightly, others take things too serious, you see. So when you tackling issues with gender, be sensitive yourself, first as a diplomat. Because you never know the person you're approaching. You never know whether they are short-tempered or not. So you need to be very sensitive on what you're saying. You cannot just go to a public place, and you just shout that women are emotional. that may attract a lot of things. Because for those ladies who are in that meeting, they will just conclude, you have just said they are all emotional. Maybe some of them are not emotional. So you need to be gender sensitive. As you mentioned something regarding men, be sensitive. As you mentioned things regarding women, be sensitive. So sensitivity here. Someone wants to talk? Okay. So being sensitive here refers to the ability to recognize gender issues. Number one, you need to know the gender issues for both men and women. Their perception. How do they perceive things? Remember, we have different attitudes. We have different feelings. We have different thoughts. So you need to be very cautious on the perception. How men perceive things sometimes, not the same way women perceive things. Again, we may perceive things at an individual level. So when you're mentioning something regarding men, maybe one person is already hurting because you've mentioned to them indirectly. So you need to be very sensitive on how you talk about things because people perceive things are different. So gender issues, gender perceptions, feelings and needs and the interest of different perceptions arising from different social location and different gender roles. So you need to be very cautious when you're mentioning anything. For instance, maybe you're a diplomat and you go to a country like Rwanda. We know about the Tutsis, the Hutus and the Tutsi, that fight. There were mass killings in Rwanda because of that. So you want to go and know what led to these mass killings in Rwanda. As a diplomat, you should not go there and start talking negative about maybe the military. You start shouting that the military wasn't active, the UN peacekeeping wasn't active. To you, that's not how a diplomat does things. You need to go to the ground and get to know how things are from the history of the fight between the Tutsis and the Hutus Tutsis and the Hutus in Rwanda. So from there, you're sensitive. Don't go concluding women were killed more than men or men were killed more than women before even getting the facts from the people. So get to do your research well before you conclude on anything so that you don't attract any source of conflict. I know as diplomats, you all promote peacekeeping because you'll be moving from one region to another. So that tells you it may attract conflict. So if you're in a new country and there's conflict because of what you are saying, you're the person who is being affected. So we need to be very sensitive on how we use our words. The people need to check our audience very well so that we may not mention that is maybe hurting some person. If it's something that you need to correct people, put it well as you're giving a lecture on the do's and the don'ts. Then from there, the members will assimilate it and be able to understand. So you need to be very sensitive on what you're mentioning in relation to gender roles, men and women. And from there, that is on sensitivity. We'll go to gender awareness. Gender awareness is closely related to sensitivity. Creating awareness. I know this is very common terminology to all of us. It's good to create awareness. For those in side of more of region-based development activities, we need to create awareness to the people about income generating activities. Because we want to develop an economy and we are not encouraging income right? That's that really promote the economy. Even you've heard of the president has been talking about the youth. We need to be maybe active. So that is like creating awareness. And if you mention youth, we don't say only the boys or the girls. We mean everybody. If you're talking about income generating activities, we do not say these belong to women and men should go to the industry. No, anyone can be working anywhere. So if we talk about creating awareness, please do not create awareness only to women. Don't tell the women to open the salon, the beauty shops, and the boutiques, and you forget the men. Yes, Michael? Okay. So if it's awareness, create awareness to everyone. The same way you can encourage women to venture into boutique shops, the same way you can encourage even men to venture into barbershop and other things. If it's about businesses, if it's about enrollment in career, everyone should be having the idea. So create awareness to the entire system. Don't check only one on one side. So this refers to the ability to point out problems, issues arising from gender inequality and discrimination, even in situations where they do not surface. From there, I'll proceed to gender stereotyping. So who can guess what we mean by stereotyping? What do we mean by stereotyping, or what do we mean by generalizing? Someone to mention stereotyping. Let me keep off the slide. I know people are busy. Anyone has an idea of what we mean by stereotyping or to generalize something? Stereotyping, generalizing. Anyone has an idea what those terminologies mean?
I can try.
Yes, Michael. Yes. Michael, you are lost.
Miss,
Michael,
can I try?
Oh, Michael is back. Michael, then Naomi, try. Michael first because you had begun, then Naomi. Yes, Michael.
From the word stereotype,
Mm.
I can say it's just like you are self-centered.
You are?
You are self-centered. You don't want to about other people's feelings.
Uh-huh. You
You
are
are
more
just,
to yourself.
yeah.
Self-centered. Uh-huh. So Naomi?
Stereotyping is like generalizing a view of like a society or some cultural part of other places. Like you can say women are basically emotional, yeah, but that doesn't refer to like the facts because both of them might be emotional. I just feel like it's generalizing the image of a society or yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that try from Michael and Naomi. Yes. So it's a good trial from all. So with the stereotyping, there's that element of self-centered, as Michael you've mentioned, but now it's more related to how you view other people. So with the stereotyping, it's where you conclude things even without knowing the facts. You just conclude, you generalize. Maybe you only saw one person from that community do something wrong. Then you conclude all Kenyans are corrupt. That is generalizing. Maybe because of just one person, one only single person in the country. So when people go to other countries, they say, please don't go to Kenya. It's a corrupt zone. You see, that is generalizing. From a single view, you give it to the entire region that all those people are corrupt. Like now, what we know in Kenya, we are full of this in terms of tribes. When people see Kikuyus, what do they say? Who can tell us?
You like money. You guys just like money. I mean, you Kikuyus just like money.
What is the stereotyping for Kikuyu? Full of what?
Kikuyus are money driven.
Yes, Michael.
Let me
What about the
think.
Luo community?
The Luo is just like fish.
Yes. Fish. So they'll come, and even the element of pride. They'll just say, I've just parked my Mercedes Benz here, they'll keep the keys there for you. It's just stereotyping. It's not that they are like that. They may be the good people. Even the Kikuyus, maybe even they are not the issue with the money. It's that they're hardworking. So if other people are not hardworking, they may conclude that. We never know. So all this is just stereotyping. If you see someone on a yellow top, what will you say? Or a shirt, Michael? Yellow top, yellow shirt, shoes.
They are campers.
They are campers. Is that true, honestly? No.
Not
Not really. So that is stereotyping. So sometimes you may stereotype something related to women, as just Naomi has mentioned. You say all women are emotional. That is stereotyping. You are just generalizing that women are emotional, and maybe to some of them they are very cool, so they are not even emotional. So you should not go mentioning things across the globe, saying that men are this way, this country is corrupt, this country is full of, no. That's just a source of conflict for no reason. So do not stereotype in relation to gender, in relation to regions, to countries, to ethnicity, tribe, race, religion. No. Just keep, if you don't know something about the facts, please do not mention about it. So gender stereotyping, it's something that we need to be sensitive on as analysts, so that we should not mention things that will affect other people. And see my sharing has lost, so I'll finish through my notes. There's no problem. So that is it on definition of terms, because the last one there is gender roles, and we've already defined the gender roles are culturally determined. Every culture gives men their roles and female their roles. So that one is more on culture. This culture may say women do this, men do this, but another culture does it different. So I want to proceed, before I proceed to another subtopic, any question on the definition of terms? I think we've given so many definitions, from gender to sex to sensitivity to stereotyping to discrimination to awareness. Anyone who has a question on all that?
Miss,
Yes, Naomi?
as we know, there's only two sexes, which is, excuse me, male and female,
Yeah.
right? So what are the examples of genders? If we
What
only
are the
have
examples
male
of?
and female in sexes, what are the examples of genders?
I'm not getting the question, Naomi. You talked
As
about
we have two sexes, right?
the transgender people,
We have male and female in the sexes,
Yeah.
right? But as you just said, sex and gender is different, because gender is social and it's flexible, but sex is not. So what are the examples of gender?
Are you asking the examples of gender roles, or
Yes.
of those people who are transgender?
The examples of gender roles.
Okay. So for this one, sorry, someone is really coughing. Sorry for that. So for this one, it's very controversial up to date, because even as you saw during the census, some people say they were not counted. The reason is what? There was no the column for maybe I remember this time they were counted. The previous one they were not counted, but for this one they were counted, because they formulated a policy for them to be counted, as a transgender. So meaning, if you're able to confess, because some people fear to confess that they are transgender. If you've confessed and it's well known, you can't miss a role in the society. If you are more attracted or you're more comfortable to be a man, you'll get the roles of a man. But if your anatomy gives you the physique, the physical feature, it appears more of a woman, definitely people will give you the roles of a woman. So for those who don't disclose it, it remains untouched. Because now, if you don't tell me you're transgender, it may not be easy for me to know, especially if you don't have that physical feature. Because there are those physical things you can see in a lady and say this is a woman. So if you do not have them and you've not disclosed, it's not easy for people to give you roles in the society, the gender roles. Are we there, Naomi?
Yes.
But if someone has openly talked, like those who were talking during the census, they say they need to be counted. You see, that's someone who is very confident. I'm transgender and I need to be in the Kenyan constitution. I need to be known. If it's funding, I need to get funds. Those people are, very vocal. And from their side, they are more to men, they'll be given the gender role for men. If they are more to women, they'll be given the role of her. Because at the end of the day, if you do a well research on the transgender people, there must be one side you are very strong in. I know you've seen people who are this category. They must be either more of a girl or more of a boy. So if you display more of a boy, or definitely the members of the society, they will even give you a name of a boy. If you're more to girl, they will give you even a name of a girl, and they will give you the role of a girl. Even the parents will buy you dresses because they've seen you're more of a girl. So it all depends with you. If I disclose it, and then I'm more of a man, I'll be given the role of a man in the society. But if I don't disclose, then it remains controversial because you did not even mention your sexuality. So people will be saying you are now Mindanu, but maybe you are somebody else because even you've not even shown the interest. So it is a controversial bit because not every transgender person claims it openly. Some are not vocal. They don't even mention about it. Someone wants to contribute on that? Naomi, are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay.
Yeah, so if you're talking to people in a place, maybe it's a meeting, it's a community empowerment, it's a region, everywhere, please encourage people to be open. They may not open up to the entire team, but they may talk to you as an analyst. Then you'll help them, in terms of gender issues, but they may know their position. Yes, Michael? So any other question? Any other question? Someone was a question, please. So can I go to the other subtopic? We are still on that topic. So before I share, okay, thank you. Before I share the notes, I can mention what we are going to discuss next. That is a triple role concept is our next subtopic. You have all the notes there, but I'll be sharing them. So with triple role concept, what is the meaning of the term triple? Triple means what?
3.
Mathematics now. 3. So I'll be discussing 3 concepts in gender. Triple role concept in gender. So 3 concepts in gender. The first concept that I'll be discussing is reproductive role. The other one is productive. The first one is reproductive role. The other one is productive role or work. Sorry for that. Then the other one is community management role. So we shall be discussing those roles together. So the first one is reproductive. And just to mention before I share the notes, the reproductive role is where the society believes this is the role of
Miss, you're not very clear.
In bearing the children, seeing them, how taking that. Not clear. So someone is trying to call me, so network. Am I clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because someone is trying to call. So when the network is affected, that is it. But yes, so we can proceed now, Naomi?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying with the reproductive role, they are the roles given to men. I mean to women, sorry. They are given to women in terms of bearing, raising the children, household activities, feeding the children, taking care of the elderly in the society. The other role is productive, number 2. Productive role now goes to the other side, men. The society believes that these are roles left to men. Men should venture into industrialization, income-generating activities. Men should wake up and move outside. At the end of the day, bring something to the family because they believe the women were left in the house. So it's the role of the man to provide for the family. So you realize that most of the opportunities, job creation are given to men because the society believes productive role it's for men. Again, on productive role, career. Most of the societies believe that career-wise, women should venture into courses like reception, clerk, I don't know why, maybe nursing. But for men, most of the societies, communities believe that doctors, engineers are for men. That is somehow stereotyping because as you look at things now, that is not the real thing. So this is just like trying to give the role of men more of productivity. So I'll be giving chance for Michael to talk. I can see everyone you want to talk or it's water. Yeah. So the productive role is left more to men, but reproductive left to women. And then the last concept is community management role. With community management role, it's whereby all the roles in the community are given to men. E.g., you may find that it's a village, the chief is a man, sub-chief, man, elders, man, nyumba kumi leader, man. What does that tell you? The society believes all leadership from the community belongs to men. But if we try to convert this to the trending issues now, currently the new generation we are in, this is not the case. You'd find a community where the chief is a woman, but the sub-chief now is a man. It doesn't mean that women empowerment, we are outdoing the men. No, it's all about equal opportunities. If the lady got the chance of being a chief and the man sub-chief, that is not bad. If the nyumba kumi leader is a woman, doesn't tell you that all those 10 nyumbas, the men should be very mute because it's a man. It's a lady who is a leader. Anyone can take a role. So some of these concepts, if we discuss them with the current era, they may not apply because currently in productive role, women are venturing into careers, women are moving out to look for jobs. So anyone can play any role. So I'm going to share those slides very fast, then I give room for questions. So let me try sharing those triple role concept notes very, very fast. It's sharing. Let me side. Let's give just a few minutes to view what we mentioned. Then from there, I'll give rooms for questions. It's there. So those are the three roles that we've just mentioned. The first one was productive work or role. The second one was productive work or the role, learning for other family members and household chores, as well as domestic production. As this is on the productive role, labor
Miss, you're not clear.
and production activities taken. I'm not clear.
Miss, you're not clear.
I don't see people.
I think we are losing your connection.
Can you ever hear me?
It's a bit shaky. I can't hear you clearly.
I'm very clear. You cannot see any issue. You can hear me clearly, Dennis.
No.
We can hear you, but
Jen,
from a distance.
let me
maybe-
see. Yes, Dennis.
Let me check on my network. I think it's something to do with my network. So yeah.
No, my network's fine, but I still can't hear her.
Naomi, yours is okay.
Yeah, but I can't hear you. You were shaky. It's still shaky.
Your timing is
Even
okay.
now. Let me try and check my. Dennis, can you hear me now clearly?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, it's better.
So it was connectivity issues, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Apologies for that. So can we proceed now to the productive role? So I mentioned that productive role, it's paid work and market production activities undertaken by men and boys and girls in society. There's a huge disparity on how men and women engage in these roles. So you'll find that in terms of career, the role given men of those, I don't know, courses that are more short term, and the men are believed to do the engineering and the doctor, the ones they go for 7 years. So I don't know why is that perception that women cannot be doctors. If you check currently, most of the doctors are women. So the productive role, as discussed in societies, it's not what is really happening currently, because with the look of things, we are having equality. Everyone can venture into any course. You can enroll to any course that you want. Nobody said engineering is for men. Honestly, there is nobody, because anyone can venture into anything. So the productive role should cut across everyone. So we are saying it's the role for boys and the girls with the element of the equality. Anyone to venture into anything in terms of career and in terms of industrialization, labor market. Anyone can be in any position. It's not a must all the CEOs, the chief executive officers to be men. It's not a must all the admins, all the managers to be men. We can find positions where the vice chancellor is a woman. So anyone can take any docket in any institution, either private institutions. Then the last role is community management work or role. So this is talking about the element of, okay, in the slide it does not, it's okay. I think there's issue with the neck again. So with the community management work, as I mentioned, most of the society are patriarchal society. With patriarchal society, they believe male dominate women. Everything is for men. Leadership is for men. Resource distribution is men. So in this essence, they connect this to management roles in the community. So they believe that all community management roles should be left to men, because it's a patriarchal society where male dominate everything. Male should do everything, in terms of leadership, in terms of management. So with community management, from an Asian perspective, it's believed it's for men, but with the current generation, someone is having a lot of Michael. Yeah. So with the community management role, again, it's something that should be done by both people, because again, as I said earlier, anyone can run for any managerial position in the community. If it's community occasions, maybe it's a rambles, it's graduation, it's not a must for the MCs to be male or the chief guests to be male. If it's a graduation in a school, it's prize giving day, it's not a must the MC and the chief guest to be male. Even the female can take such positions. That is a community management role, so that everyone may be participating. And that is it on the triple role concept. Anyone was a question? Any question? Maybe you're not clear. Your sound is breaking. Michael is saying I'm not clear. Other people, am I still not clear?
I can hear you perfectly.
Sorry, Naomi?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, if Naomi is hearing. Jen, can you hear me? So Michael, it's your network now. So if Naomi is getting me, Michael, maybe it's your network, please. Anyone, please, you can ask that.
For me, it's clear on my end.
Introduction a bit. Jen, can you see there was issue there with connectivity? Apologies for that. Yeah, so we are done with the first topic. We've done the definitions and we've done the triple role concept. So the next lesson next week I'll do theories. We'll discuss all the theories at once. So please take your time and go through them so that we move very fast in discussing. Unless maybe someone has a question. So at the portal, I'll be posting some discussion questions. So take your time and check how you can respond to them at an individual level, because I'll be posting them very frequently. Just discussion questions you can do via WhatsApp. Members you discuss well and good. So I'll be giving some questions, forums for discussions. So for the far we've gone, maybe anyone was at an attention, maybe. Yes, Dennis?
I don't think I have anything. Just my apologies. I had entered the wrong course, so that's why I came in late. I was in the wrong course doing a thing, but my apologies.
The first time you were not in no, you're in the right course.
I actually had joined the wrong gender unit. I realized a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
My
right. There's
apologies.
no. All right. Submitted. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Any other person was something maybe to say? So today the class is full. I'm very, very grateful for that turn up. Please, next week, just avail yourself as you are today. And apologies for the network. I think we are getting these challenges both sides, from your side, from my side. But we are embracing change. So change comes with a lot of things. But let's have a positive thought. Please don't have the negativity about this. These challenges occur everywhere. So please, all of us, let's be positive on this. Let's assist each other whenever we can, so that we move together. So I'm very grateful the turn up today it's 100%. If there's someone is off, maybe it's only one person. So make sure you move together as a team. I know you are taking so many units. So if it's possible, you can create a group so that if maybe someone is not online, the lecturer, you can communicate to the other, if it's an assignment and all that. Because sometimes you may get challenges with power. So you cannot blame anyone for that. So please work together as a team. It's good if you can have a group where you can be communicating such things, because sometimes you may plan a class with the lecturer, but he or she is off. So it's good if you guys can have a way. But in case of ending to my unit, I believe I'm only taking you through this unit. Another unit I'm taking you. I think it's only gender. Yes, Dennis, Naomi, Jane, Michael.
I'm not. For my end, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, but then you've just. Oh, for Dennis, we understand. Michael,
For me,
another unit, conflict, global peace.
you are taking me to unit. This one and global peace and security.
Global peace. So we have a class with you 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So please, if you know you're having other lessons with you, avail yourself, not only for my lessons, all the classes. Kindly avail yourself for all the classes, because we are taking registers after each class. And the register is automatic. So if I click Jen was absent today, the register will remain the system absent. We can't change it. It's not manual, it's automatic. So please remember that all the classes the lecturers are marking attendance. So kindly avail yourself for all classes, not only my classes, because we are marking the attendance. And it's 70%, just as the way we are doing it in the physical classes, 70% attendance. Yes,
I have
Michael?
a question. In my case,
yes,
sometime I might be at work. I might miss the classes. I'm asking if there is a way you can help me, because most of the time I'm not online. Yeah.
So for those who are at work, all these classes are recorded. So meaning after you leave your work in the evening, you can open Gender Ir, big blue button, you will find the entire class recorded. So meaning you are referring to the notes the same time because the notes are in the portal, then you refer to the recorded class. But if you have any question, maybe you've not understood the recorded class, there's something like the triple roll, you can now get back to the lecturer. The lecturer can explain to you. Are we there, Michael?
I have another question.
Yes.
Do you have an evening classes?
For the evening classes, not yet.
Okay, I thought you might have. And in case we miss this one, we might listen to the other one.
Yeah, in case we get any information regarding that, we will definitely communicate to the entire group. Everybody will be aware of the evening classes and all that. But for now, we have accommodated all the team here.
I think
So
I have
if there's another change, yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Concerning what he has just asked about the first question. If you miss if you miss this session and then you decide to refer in the evening,
Mm.
so will you still mark me as present?
So if unless maybe I know, even though you're not available, you can do a text.
Yeah.
But for the day students, the system, we know you people. So we know day student, you cannot lie to me. You are at work and you've been attending my normal class. For the evening, we also have the data. We know those people have been in evening class. So please don't take it as a play game. I'll just tell the teacher I'm at work and maybe you sleep the entire day. So for Dennis and Michael, you are both evening students.
No,
Yeah.
I am an e-learning student, a distance learning.
Michael e-learning, Dennis evening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an evening student.
So it's okay. Please, if you're not available during the day, avail yourself in the later hours. Go through this.
Yeah.
If you view my class, I'll be able to know. So I'll mark you as present.
Present. Oh, okay.
Yes. I will know. Because anytime you click, I'll be able
Yeah.
to see you are active 2 minutes ago. So I will know you are active.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. In case of any query, please you ask.
Yes, I will.
Another person maybe the next one. So Michael, in case of any new development for the evening and e-learning, we will let you know. But as for now, we are on the big blue button. It's recorded. We are marking the attendance. So if you take your time and get in, I'll know and then I'll mark you. But if you are day off, you're at home, please log in for a class. I encourage that very much. If you get another forum, please you'll be communicated officially. Another question? Any question? So please. Oh yes, Dennis.
Oh, I'm saying I'm good from my end. I have nothing else to ask for now.
Oh, okay, thank you. So Naomi, Jane, Mohammed. Mohammed, are you? I think it's like he's on the listen only. Danu and Kirunu, they are muted. It's okay. If they can hear us, there is no problem. So I'll stop. Michael, you're okay?
Yeah, I am really okay. It was an interesting class.
Yes. So I'll try one day to be on the video. Please don't worry. Jen?
Yes.
See you online. Check your echo, please.
Okay. Let me.
Are you okay? Do you have any questions?
Not at the moment. I'm good.
Okay, thanks. So people can enjoy their early lunch wherever they are. Please take care. Wash your hands and do else. Yes.
Stay safe. Keep distance.
What else? Keep distance. And
stay at home if necessary.
If necessary. Good. So enjoy your rest of the day. Those we are meeting at 2 p.m. Please have your lunch early. That we meet at exactly 2. For the rest, enjoy your week. Take care. God willing, we shall meet the next class. So good afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.